Hey everyone, Cow Crusher here from SaverQuit.com, and today we're going to be taking a look at the new adventure game, Gibbous, a Cthulhu adventure from developer Stuck in Attic. Check out the link below for the full review, but here's a quick overview.
I've been hired to locate some kind of ancient book. Supposed to have inside of it the kind of stuff makes the Joe's guts turn salt and sallow. Real type mystical mumbo jumbo, which I guess explains the weirdo cults popping up all over Darkham.
The world of Gibbous offers many things, but it's the amazing artwork and animation that will stand out the most. Brilliant character design, lovingly detailed sets and backgrounds, stylized prop illustrations, inventive cutscenes, a slick user interface, and lush color palettes all combine together in an orchestrated way that not only brings the darkly comic world of Darkham to life, but successfully engages the player's imagination. The character designs are pitch perfect, gangly when need be, and adorable where appropriate. They're easy to love and laugh with, as well as at. The set illustrations are deliciously lovely. The layout of each screen is creatively unique, and also is designed in a way to help with eye flow, guiding the player across the screen as they look for clues. The level of detail is perfect, and the worlds in Darkham, Fishmouth, Paris, and Transylvania are rich, evocative, and lived in, with tons of throwaway ornaments whose sole existence is to adorn an already pretty picture. The color palette excels in using simple but bold schemes to convey mood and help tell the story. My only complaint with any of the visuals is that on a few occasions the backgrounds are just a tad too dark. Some of this is intentional, of course, but other times it muddies up the otherwise imaginative illustrations. Of all the visual flair, though, the highlights are, of course, the animations. They are wonderfully expressive, fluidly executed, and have flawless comedic timing. When you solve enough of the puzzles in a chapter to unlock the next section, seeing these animations as a result is a reward in and of itself.
What do I do, Kitty? God, I wish you could talk back for once!
Narratively speaking, Gibbous is ambitious, and that alone is commendable. But as I mentioned in my review, the story is very slow to start.
So, you're just standing there, huh?
People tend to do that in this kind of game.
Yeah, I always wondered about that.
The first two-thirds of the game are a bit aimless, and feel heavily padded. Also, the early parts of the story aren't as mystical as the title would have you believe, and the focus is mostly on the mundane. Although it might be tempting to give up, it is worth sticking with the game, as the story does pick up, and eventually comes to a very satisfying conclusion that more than lives up to its title.
In my mind, they were already shaping into something that would definitely get these goons' attention. I was gonna do big, loud things with petty stuff, like a poor country using scraps to send a rocket to the moon.
The writing is unceasingly trying its hardest to make each moment entertaining and humorous, though unfortunately, comedy is very subjective, so the results may fall flat more often than they succeed. Still, there's a certain air of absolute conviction and determination from the developers that even though many of the jokes fall flat, they do so with such energy and enthusiasm that you wind up smiling anyway.
We provided you with some slippers. Did Brother Gleam not assess your shoe size correctly? Now listen here, Buster. Unless I'm in the comfort of my own home, I don't do slippers. You can leave a man pantless, shirtless even, but don't mess with his footwear symmetry, you barbarian.
And, to its credit, there are some truly wonderful gems in there, from numerous nerdly in-jokes to several almost Python-esque sequences, to some witty character sniping as they banter back and forth.
Oh no, this is insulting.
I don't know, you actually look kinda cute.
Shut up, you monster.
What the heck was I concocting here? It felt abstract, ridiculous, absurd even. The foundation of a really far-fetched and scatterbrained solution to my predicament. but this was a pretty ridiculous adventure already, so I guess I was just adapting.
The puzzles in Gibbous were the biggest disappointment for me. Though it's not to say that they're bad in any way, it's just that the rest of the game has such a high degree of polish that the puzzles feel a bit lazy by comparison. Many of the puzzles don't seem to have a reason for being, other than to act as an obstacle for you to solve. They don't feel like they're contributing meaningfully to the progression of the story. The flip side, though, is that by making the puzzles overly accessible, the game can appeal to a wider audience, including non-gamers or players who don't normally try adventure games.
This was officially ridiculous. Was I feeling proud of myself? A definite and resounding no. But it was all I had.
It's true that there are some really solid puzzles embedded randomly throughout this game, though. They're imaginative and interactive, while still being approachable, and offer a rewarding solution. It's almost like these are the few puzzles that actually are taking themselves seriously. The rest are rather anticlimactic. Some feel pointless, only because they are so tangential to the story that they're not really advancing the plot in a meaningful way. A lot of the puzzles are heavily dialogue dependent, while some feel like extended fetch quests, and others are just too obvious for their own good. So, despite the clunky jokes, sluggish storytelling, and disappointing puzzles, Gibbous is still a fun game to play, and it's an easy recommendation. If you're at all interested in adventure games, are a fan of 2D animation, or just happen to love all things Lovecraftian, no matter how silly, then Gibbous deserves your attention. If, however, you're still not convinced, the game does have one last ace up its sleeve: musical numbers. There's an epic pirate shanty, a rap battle, and even a singing cat that await your tone-deaf ears. Gibbous, a Cthulhu adventure, is available now on Steam and GOG. I'm Cowcrusher from SavorQuit.com. Be sure to click the link below for the full review, and thanks for watching.
That was something indeed.